Hey guys, we are here with EnzoXentral, who's currently top 10 rated on Dueling Book with Mathmech. And now, obviously, the ranking's a little bit in the flux at the start of the format, but regardless of whatever format, you are always super high rated with this deck. So I thought we could share your deck list and just other things about this deck. So I think I'll just pass over to you. Maybe you can just introduce yourself. Why do you play Mathmech? Why you love the deck, and whatever else.
I'm Enzo, one of the Mathmech Gods on Dueling Book. I've been playing this deck since September of last year, so 2021. And my reasoning behind it is not because I saw other people playing it, it's because at school I loved maths. I just loved the whole gimmick with numbers. And then when I found out there was numbers introduced with a deck, I thought, wow, this looks so cool. And Cybers is my favorite type. So I thought, you know what? Let's just have fun and just build it. At first, I was not good. I was a little bit rusty, but then once I get the whole gimmick of how the deck was and the whole idea of what the main objective is, then I got improved, found cool text and spice, and then been doing really, really well with it. And
Amazing.
I remember when Circle was first announced, I was at work, and then someone on Discord messaged me spamming support, broken. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, we mean support. I mean, last time they did that, they were trolling. So I'm like, no, you're lying to me. And then he shows me it, and then I was like, wait, what is going on? This guy's insane. And then I got 15 other people messaging me about it. I was like, oh, I'm at work. I can't talk right now. I'm trying not to freak out because it was so good. And it gave the deck, it fixed all the issue what the deck needed, which was a one card starter. Because every single card you needed 2 cards or 3 cards to full combo. And that's why like this deck has potential, but obviously we're going to talk about later on what the consequence is for later on the format, mainly Darkwing Blast and the holiday boxes. So I can't wait to talk about my reasoning behind my ratios and my cool tags.
Amazing. Yeah, no, I can only imagine, how excited you were. Because, I mean, even when the stack was really in rogue status, you were doing so well. And so when that card was announced, you were really the first person I thought of in terms of like, wow, I wonder how well he's going to do now with this card. So, yeah, anyways, enough of me rambling. Maybe I can just go over your list quickly, maybe the ratios, and then you can sort of explain your reasoning for the ratios, but also card choices. So we're starting with the 3 circular, the 3 addition, as well as the 3 diameter and subtraction. I think that's pretty standard. And then
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like some people play 2 addition, 2 subtraction,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then people take the 2 exceed to 3. I mean, that's not a bad option, but the problem is with Darkwing Blast in the future, since most of your good cards are light, there is a chance where they're just going to hit your diameter and your sigma, so that way you don't get your Alabertian. So instead, you rather get your addition subtraction in your hand, so that way you can actually still make Alabertian while doing your full combo. Also, it's searchable, which I like about it. Where Exceed is just playing multiple is so bricky. I never liked I tried at 3, never liked it. At 2, I liked it quite a lot. So you could play it, but I don't really like that idea. But not a bad option.
Right. No, that's a great point, and that was actually something I was going to bring up in this profile in terms of the bestial cards because of it's obviously good against
Uh,
tiers, which means it's also probably good against Mathmech as well.
it's an FTK. 2500 beat sig DD Crows and has effects. That seems a little too insane.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty nice. I guess for the rest of the deck, it's organized a pretty interesting way, I have to add. So we have 3 Ash and 2 Bell, which I guess, along with the Imperms, those are your hand traps. Any thoughts on other hand traps you were considering and why Bell, I guess, in a way? It's pretty popular,
Uh,
but.
so Ashen Input, I'm playing at 3 because it hits pretty much almost every single deck. So which is why I'm playing at 3. Bell is there. I want my super to resolve because Crow and Callbite are very annoying cards. So I want to actually have a chance to play because one Crow and Callbite is pretty much game. So and also Bell is good for the mirror match, which I have been playing quite a lot of mirrors. Most of the time, it goes well for me. Sometimes it doesn't. Uh, I like Ghost Bell. I think Bell will probably be played at 3 with the Bistic card in the near future, especially since, Bistic cards are just really powerful cards. And Nib, you kind of have to play Nib because of Small World as well, for tournaments.
Right. Oh, no, that's a great point. Yeah, Small World definitely is a big bridge for very used heavily in this deck. And then also the two super factorial. So this is interesting. I think it's technically not standard, right? Like some players do try to only run it at one. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, most people do play at 1, but my theory behind the reason I play 2 is with this deck, you need to have a grind game. There are times where the second super will always come out, and of course, with the pop of Runics, losing your super factorial, it will not go well. As well, I like the second labellation. Sometimes in game 1, I do make it turn 1, so I can get hand knowledge of what they're playing, as well as their key pieces, so I know what or when and when's the right time to use my super without getting punished.
Hmm. Very good point. I guess on to well, the one combo. I don't think that's really no explanations necessary. Three silent mining, also very standard. Parallel exceed, is this also typically played at 2 or 3 in Mathmech?
To be honest, people play at 3, 2, or never play at all. So it's
Mm-hmm.
based on your personal taste and your main objective. What's your end board? My exceeds there is for laplation. If I was only playing one lap, I would never play exceed. So because I'm playing exceeds, it helps me to make laplation on game 1, and then also game 3. I sometimes want to search a floodgate as well end on wicked and IP pass, which is not hard. It's pretty easy, but you have to be very very risky, or the deck that they don't play hand traps, so you can just full combo, which is pretty funny for me.
And so we have the Arch Trainer eccentric, which I think is because of Small World, right? It's pretty flexible. Is that the reason?
Yeah, so Eccentrics, I saw it with some another Mathmech guy I talked to. I saw him play it, and it is a very clever idea. Since it's a light, so it's very easy. It's a level 3 and has 1,000 defense, which subtraction and addition meets the requirement. So pretty much any card in your hand can get you to circular. Pretty much any card, which is like incredible about Sentry. As well as my out to is also another out to Mystic Mine. Also, it's pretty funny. I sometimes use the on-field effect to outstat you against Flunders, which happened quite a lot.
Right.
Yeah,
No.
people don't know that, but it does come up quite a lot.
Awesome.
And then I just circle a full combo. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, it seems like a pretty required card. I guess the other Mathmech cards on this side of the list are Nabla and Multiplication. I don't know if I've seen these too often, actually.
And yeah, funny enough, 3 people who's preparing for the next YCS and Oostrict or whatever it's called, saying to me, "Why do you play these 2 cards? Aren't they just bricks?" So obviously you can tell on the extra that I'm playing final, and people think, "Oh, why do you play a card? Is it not bad or it does nothing?" So the only problem is you're only going for one ODK line, which is update access, but you lose to a single imp and Veiler, where Nabla multi, you're playing around many, many interruptions. As well, Nabla is a tuner. If it wasn't a tuner, I would never play him. So it's searchable with Wicked. As well, you can play around Nibiru, as well play around Veiler and Imp. So if you use multi to make access code and make multi 1 access 2, it'll be at 10,600 or 8,600, and they tried it at value at end domain 1, for example. It will still technically be at 8,600. So pretty much they go neg 1, you still attack for game, and they will be sad, and it'll be great.
Amazing. And then I
I,
guess the
I love
final
it.
the final Mathmech monster is a 2 Sigma, and then you have the equation for the added extender and the 2 desires. Anything you want to say on that?
It's hands down probably one of the best cards in this deck. Most of the time you're banishing, you do not care what you're banishing.
Mm-hmm.
As well, and that's also another reason why I'm playing 2 super. If you lose the super from desires, you want to cry. And there are times where you have to use desire at the beginning because your hand's not good. But most of the time, you'd rather do it at the very end so you have a chance of drawing your going second cards.
Right.
And 2 Sigma, you can play free for like free discard with like if you're playing Droplets, Twin Twister, pretty much card that you want to discard, but the third one never comes up. You don't really need to,
Okay.
personally.
And then the final in the main deck is the Signet Crosswipe. How often does this come up?
A lot. This card, I feel like this card should be played more personally, but again, I don't understand people's reasoning behind it, but Crosswipe for me is another optimistic mine. It plays around certain floodgates, so like skill drain. I remember one time I was playing as Eldritch. I made Lapellation. I used the effect. They said no response because obviously, why wouldn't they? Tribute it, and then popped skill drain, and he lost all three of his cards because obviously Lapellation is in the grave, no longer on field. As well, it also plays around cards that targets. So let's say in Tenement, they use Salic. You tribute, they can't send, let's say, Collider Heart, for example. Also, his Redoer, it plays around the Runic cards. Also, it's just another out to like certain problematic cards, but also you're going full combo. So I like this card personally as well. It also plays from Nib and Imperm, Nibiru and Imperm, which is very, very cool. I
Hmm.
love the card.
Yeah, no, sounds great. Thank you. Okay, so that's 42 in the main. I guess maybe we'll go to the extra. So we have the final Sigma that you've already mentioned, Alan Bershon. At 2, Laplacian. I honestly can't pronounce any of these guys. At 2, Link
Yeah,
Disciple.
Alaberti into Lapellation.
Okay. Devotee, Lingeribo, Update Jammer, Cyber's Wicked, Splash Mage, IP, Transcode Unicorn, and Access Code Talker. I guess at least for the right 8 cards are pretty standard, and perhaps even the ratios for your Mathmech extra deck monsters are pretty standard. But anything you want to say?
Well, a lot of people will be thinking there is no Heat Soul
Oh
in this
yes,
extra deck.
yeah, I realize it now.
Yeah, so I'm not playing Heat Soul because personally, I don't like the card.
Hmm.
Because my issue with it is your end board is significantly weaker. The chance of you drawing the cards that you actually want is lower than it already is. Plus, it doesn't help you from not getting OTK'd easily. I don't like the card because also it changes your deck building because I only play 10 hand trades because I feel like that's the right ratio. Because you rather not draw many hand trades, you rather draw one or two, then three or four. And Heat Soul, you have to pretty much rely on, yes, if I draw circular, I won. And I don't like it. People say, oh yeah, but when you draw hand traps and exceed though, I was like, well, that means you that just happens. Then you just lost. Yeah, personally for me, I just don't like the whole idea with Heat Soul. I mean, it's not a bad card. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad card. For me, it doesn't help me from winning games. It's just pretty much there to win more. Same thing for Appaloosa. It's just a win more card. That's why I play Unicorn. I'd
Hmm.
rather get rid of the threat rather than keep the threat there and then deal with it later on, which can be problematic. So Unicorn just get rid of all the threat that you need, which is why I play Unicorn.
Right? No, no, that definitely makes sense. So thanks for that breakdown. I guess lastly onto the side. So we have the 2 Drolls, 2 Dogoran. I'm guessing that's also because of Small World.
Yes, because it's a fire, so addition subtraction. It's a level 8, so Paralysis, and it has 3k attack with Nib. So pretty much every single card, except for Bell, and Nib hand, I think. No, I'm trying to remember. So pretty much any card, like any Mathmech cards, I'm pretty sure, and Ash can get you to Dogoran. And I like Dogoran because normal summon diameter is like the best card ever. And that's why I do not play Lava Golem because losing your normal summon is very, very crucial at some point. And since you're playing 5 normal summons, it's not worth it. Which is why I'm only playing Dogoran. But look, moving forward, I'm not sure about Darwin Blast. Might cut it off, but we just have to see how the format changes. But for now, I quite like it.
Right, right. No, great points. 3 Lightning Storms. Did you consider 3 Evenlies, or you prefer the storms in this strategy?
Used to be cosmic,
Hmm.
but I'm dealing with a lot more like runic sprite with a lot of back row. So I'm trying to test lightning storm with it, and so far it's working a lot better. than Cosmic, in my humble opinion. Because I've been having like with Cosmic, it doesn't stop Runic Sprite, and Droll's also there for Runic Sprite because I've been losing with them quite often, so I wanted to stop them. Yeah, even he's good, but I might try it in the near future. But obviously, I'd rather just pretty much end the game there rather than give him a chance to win. So that's why I'm playing more breaking boards than giving them a chance to win. But I would probably play it. I probably would play it
Hmm.
personally.
Right. And then we have the 3 rivalry, which I think is pretty standard with Mathmech in the side, or maybe even some people mean it. I'm not sure, but it's pretty good in this format.
It's absolutely insane. It's pretty much there. Sometimes I'm actually starting for going first and second against tier because most of their boards are not big. It's just the follow up they do, which is like the most annoying part about it. Which is why sometimes even you break the board and you flip Warlord, they can't play. Which is what you want to do is stop tier from playing. Which is why that's why I like Warlord. I used to play it too, but then realized Warlord's kind of insane against Runic Sprite and Tier, which is why sometimes I decided for going second, which I think is correct. Main decking it against Bricky, because if you play against, let's say, Flunder or Mirror Match, is a dead card. It just does nothing, which is why I love it in the side.
Right. No, no, I agree. I think like even going second floodgates like these, like whether like this or like skill drain, for example, like going second, it can be very strong. And then magic deflector. This is interesting. I think I'm gonna have to read this for the audience because a lot of people probably don't know it, including myself. For the rest of this turn, negate all equipped field continuous and quick play spell card effects on the field. So, what was your reasoning to decide to put this in the side at the moment?
So people would think anti-spell, for example, but me personally, the best matchup for this card is for Runics and Flunders. So most of the time, normal spells you don't really care. I for Runics they can't play. Like what can they do? Fountain's dead. All the quick plays are just not useful anymore. And also you the times where you might draw a spell card while anti's live, you just pretty much just want to cry sometimes. And with Magical Flector, it stops droplets, it stops call by, it stops Mystic Mine. It's another add to Mystic Mine. So and also it stops all the annoying like quick play spell cards. So and then also you're not really playing any quick play spell apart from Crosswipe, which is like whatever. All your spells are just normal, so you don't really care what if you have Magic Deflector. And also it's just pretty much it's an Imperial Order, but a tougher restriction. That's pretty much it, which is why I play it. It's insane.
No, it's a great tech choice, and interestingly, that you're also playing a pointer, even though it's newly at 1, but still a strong card.
Searchable. It's searchable with
Oh,
4 Material Alibertium. Still searchable, so we search
you
it.
are right. Yes, forgot. I do not have that privilege with any other deck that I play. So that's pretty good. And of course, the Feather Duster, pretty standard. And interestingly, I guess Induction. I know this is a card that some people will probably main deck. You know, it's pretty good against Sprite as well, just popping that body. Really. What are your thoughts on siding it instead?
I mean, main deck is not the word. I think main decking it is their way to out Mystic Mine, is their main out. But the problem is the card is not good going second. It's a brick. So we're going first or playing against like let's say a slower type of build or like playing against like stun decks, then I would probably still play even going second. I rather keep it going first, so I know I'm going to search it as well it can actually do something rather than just sit on my hand, do nothing, and maybe lose, which is why it's in the side.
Right. Okay. Well, that's it for the deck list. I guess any other things you want to say in terms of like this new format moving forward? How you feel about this deck, like good and bad matchups, maybe? Just general thoughts.
In the coming future, this deck will get significantly worse because of the Bistic cards.
Hmm.
Because they do so much. So you could play like a going second build to play around the Bistic card. I think maybe Lancia might come important in the near future. Maybe Iron Wall to stop you from banishing moving forward. And also the issue card, they're also out. They get rid of all 3 of your targets for free. So it's going to be very difficult moving forward. So it once that comes out, I'll be doing a lot of like trying new things out to see if it works. Nibiru will get a lot worse because of the Tidament card that can stop Nibiru from summoning. So yeah, it's gonna be very difficult, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Right, right. And I'm sure a lot of people will be looking up to you to cook up a new list once those cards are out. So, yeah, hopefully we can do another updated one someday. But, anyways, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Any shout outs you want to mention before we end the call?
Just special thanks to the Mathmech Discord. It's a really good Discord server. Tells you all the the top regionals, their deck list. Everyone tells you all about their replays, their deck building, theories, small world bridges. So that way you never make a misplay. As well, everyone just has a laugh and always have an argument about Heat Soul. So yeah, if you talk about Heat Soul, there will be like a debate, and it's very very fun. So yeah, you don't want to miss out. Yeah, apart from that, I hope everyone enjoyed the deck list, and look forward in the future.
Awesome. And I'll have that link to the Discord in the description and you can send me that. And so, yeah, awesome. Thank you, everyone. Take care.